This show is part of the RetroZap.com podcast network.
So, I guess I'll start. Ready? 1, 2,
It's all you.
3. This is what you can look forward to on episode 128 of Skywalking Through Neverland. We have a interesting episode planned for you this week.
Yes, this is a throwback episode.
You know what's exciting about this is when I saw the Millennium Falcon in that picture, I immediately thought of the Hogwarts train. Eggs, bacon, and social media.
Is that your Homer Simpson impression? Come on, please. We need to see Sir GX. We need to see Jackson and Han Solo in Sunday school.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Hello, Skywalkers.
Listen!
Welcome to Neverland.
I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse.
Wow. Oh, what?
You are skywalking through Neverland.
Hey, Skywalkers. Welcome to
Skywalking Through Neverland.
We are the family-friendly Disney and Star Wars podcast that brings you entertaining stories from creators and fans. And we want to give a big thank you to our family of Skywalkers who help us out each and every show, whether you're just listening or posting on our Facebook group or just spreading and sharing the positivity about our adventure through fandom. I am Richard, and now everyone please say hello to my sweetie wife Sarah.
Hey, Skywalkers! Thank you for joining us. And of course, as Richard said, we love it when you tweet at us at SkywalkingPod. And you are officially part of our Skywalker family. Now, before we get on with the show, I really want to mention the winner of our Facebook sharing contest, which we did a couple episodes ago, and then we forgot to announce the winner.
Our bad.
I
Our
know. So I decided that we should announce the winner.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Who is it?
The winner of our Facebook share contest is David Eicher. And that is spelled Aicher, if I totally mispronounced your name incorrectly. So please email us your address to share@skywalkingthrough.neverland.com. And that way we can send you a little care package with definitely some Skywalking buttons.
Yeah, see all that stuff back there? Oh, those are all prizes.
Yeah, and we have a whole prize pack over there. All right.
Nice.
Winner, job at dinner. I like that. What Periscope says.
All right, you scope walkers.
Bad
Keep
robot.
those comments coming.
Yes.
Now, we are recording back at our home base here in Long Beach, California on July the 12th, 2016, otherwise known as Harrison Ford's birthday eve.
Oh.
Well, you know what? Before we tell everyone what's coming up in this episode, we want to announce the Skywalker who was the first one to answer last week's foreign dub contest.
Ooh, okay.
Derek Spear, you are the winner of our foreign dub contest. And he answered correctly. It was Tangled. There was the scene that preceded the I Have a Dream.
I have it, yes, which is in the Snuggly Duckling.
Yeah.
For those of you.
For those of you who are a little rusty on your Hindi, this was the clip.
मैंने कहा छोड़ दो इसे। देखो, मैं नहीं जानती कि मैं कहां पर हूं, लेकिन ये मुझे अपना कंदील देखने का सपना पूरा करने ले जा रहा है और मुझे इसकी जरूरत है। अपनी इंसानियत भूल गए क्या? क्या तुम लोगों ने कभी कोई सपना नहीं देखा?
मैंने देखा था एक सपना.
So that, yes, the language was Hindi, if you didn't get that right away.
And once again, that's the scene that kicks off I Got a Dream, and I purposely left that accordion sound in there at the very end.
I'm glad you did, because I didn't even know what that was. I was listening to the show later, and I'm like, wait, that's from Tangled, when I heard the accordion.
Yeah. I originally cut it off, but I thought there's no way anyone's going to guess that, because there's no background music or really sound effects to tip it off. So here it is now in English, in case you don't know the movie.
Put him down!
Okay, I don't know where I am, and I need him to take me to see the lanterns because I've been dreaming about them my entire life. Find your humanity! Haven't any of you ever had a dream?
I had a dream once.
And now, like last time where we mashed the Empire Strikes Back clips with the German and the English to one super clip, let's do that once again with Tangled. Check it out.
For fits and giggles.
Yes. This is a family show.
Yes.
Put him down! Okay, I don't know where I am, and I need him to take me to see the lanterns because I've been dreaming about them my entire life. Find your humanity! Haven't any of you ever had a dream?
I had a dream once.
So if you ever wanted to know what Hindi and English sounds like mashed together, that was it. All right, Skywalkers. Now, time for some more homework.
Homework?
Yes, Skywalkers, time for some more homework. Now, we're going to be meeting up with our good friend and pod mother, Margaret Carey, in the next few weeks. So we do this fun segment called Ask Tink, where you can write in and ask us questions that we can pass along to Margaret Carey. Questions or concerns or problems.
Advice. Yes, she's kind of like Dear Abby.
Yes.
Only she's Dear Margaret Carey.
She's
Tinkerbell.
She's Ask Tink.
Ask Tink.
So if you have any questions you want us to ask Tink, she's going to read all the questions. And if she reads your question, of course, she'll read your name, which is always fun. And we're going to ask you to do this by the 1st of August.
Okay.
Because her new book comes out the first week of August. So
Ooh.
she's been saying. She's been
Yes.
on the upcoming schedule for years. But she's hoping now and thinking and saying it's going to be coming out on August the 7th. So send in your questions by the 1st of August because we'll be talking to her about her book and having her do a couple of Ask Tink segments.
Yeah, it's going to be super fun. So please email those questions to share@skywalkingthrough.neverland.com.
Right. So once again, she will help you with any kind of personal problems. She's in her 80s, so she's got a lot of wisdom.
Oh, yes. And her voice is just the cutest thing ever.
Or if you have any questions just about a personal story about Walt Disney, maybe. Because
Yeah.
she knew him firsthand.
That's true.
Or just about her career. Now, also, we want more Skywalker jingles.
Ooh, that's right, because we are putting together a CD with Rob Dellinger, our podcast composer, and we are putting together Awesome Jingle Mix Volume 1. And as bonus material, we're going to need you to sing your favorite jingle.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is have you listen to your favorite jingle with headphones on. That way you can sing along and you won't have the background music on your track. We just want to hear your voice.
Yes.
And this special bonus track will be on a bonus edition of Skywalking Through Neverland, the Awesome Jingle Mix Volume 1.
So what you can do right now is pause this episode and go to your voice memo app on your phone and record yourself. Like right there, and then you can email that recording directly to us, share@skywalkingthrough.neverland.com.
So if your favorite jingle is Things We Want to Share,
Do-do-do-do-do.
Things We Want to Share.
Do-do-do-do-do. You messed it up. You're laughing.
Like, I keep telling everyone I'm going to stop singing, and I'm sorry. Or if it's in the tiki 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 room, in the tiki 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 room.
I love it. Now, Ewok20 is asking, can I Facebook message mine? I suppose
How does that work?
you just Facebook message the message. And I think if it comes through correctly, because sometimes Facebook will make things smaller in order to get them to you. So, but you can probably Facebook message your jingle as well.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You can do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Probably not the best sound.
Right. That's what I'm saying, that Facebook might dull the sound a little bit. So
Yeah.
we do like email a little better.
We do have SpeakPipe on our website. You can use that too.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't recommend SpeakPipe because it has bad sound.
Then don't use SpeakPipe
Don't
then.
use SpeakPipe and delete that. Okay.
All right, so best thing is what? On your iPhone?
Yes.
Okay, well, good deal. Easy enough. All right, and one more thing we need from you Skywalkers.
More homework.
We need some more Skywalker stories.
Oh.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch, and we just want to keep collecting them so we can start airing them and airing them. And this, once again, is if you have a fun story about Star Wars or Disney, something that if you're in a group of friends and you're all sharing stories about your fandom, what's your favorite story that you want to share with all the Skywalkers out there?
Or when you think of your fandom, is there a moment that pops to your mind first? We want to hear that moment. So please either email in that story or record yourself talking about that story and send it once again to share at skywalkingthrough.neverland.com.
Yeah, it's probably better that they send us a little synopsis and then we can arrange a time where we can all talk about it. That way, if we have questions about it, that's always fun.
Yes, definitely.
So yeah, we want to hear your Skywalker stories and moments. If you have a little, hey, you know what? I was at Starbucks, I saw Harrison Ford.
Oh.
Which is something that actually happened to a friend of ours. So like a little short moment like that is always fun to play in between our segments.
Yes.
So once again, Skywalkers, you have a lot of homework to do, so let's get cracking.
And we should tell them what's coming up on this episode.
Well, let's do that. We will take a deeper look into the new concept art of Star Wars Land at Disneyland here in Anaheim that was just released last Monday in the Disney Parks blog website.
Yeah. Oh, so exciting. So many hidden gems. We are super excited about it.
Yeah, you got to really blow up this picture to see a little Easter eggs, would you say?
Absolutely.
And things that I didn't know were going to be included. So really, really excited about this. And then in honor of Star Wars Celebration Europe, which just starts in a matter of hours, we're going back in time to the Star Wars 10th anniversary convention that we've dubbed Celebration Zero. Any Scope Walkers go to Celebration Zero? My hand is up.
Mine's not. Oh.
That's okay. You know what?
I was 6.
It doesn't really matter that you weren't there because this is where this show comes into play. Because it can be like you were actually there. Now, as many of you know, this was the first dedicated convention to Star Wars.
Oh.
And this took place Memorial Day weekend, 1987. Now, we're going to play in its entirety the first appearance by George Lucas.
Wow.
He did a Q&A panel by himself.
Now, was this the very first appearance of him?
I'm guessing he'd gone to like some of the Comic-Cons or WonderCons to promote Star Wars. I've never seen pictures of him. It's always been Charles Lippincott and Gary Kurtz and Mark Hamill.
Okay.
But I'm sure George Lucas had gone to some of those just because it's his movie. But this was the first time he did like a panel by himself.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. And some of his answers are very short and to the point. But keep in mind, he just got off an airplane and he was shooting Willow over in England.
Okay.
So he flew over here just to do this convention. He got to the Concourse Hotel in Los Angeles, and the convention host and coordinator, Carrie O'Quinn, shoved a microphone in his hand and said, "Go."
Oh, gosh. Wow.
Yeah, and Lucas being a very shy man,
Yeah.
this was not something...
He's not like J.J. Abrams, where he's very effusive on stage and very,
Right, but he had jet lag.
Oh, yeah.
And he wasn't told that, okay, here's a microphone. I didn't prepare anything. I'm just getting here. Do something.
Wow.
But it's awesome. Now, we've played bits and pieces of this Q&A before, but this time we're going to play it in its entirety, the whole thing, with a special live intro by R2 and 3PO, and Darth Vader showing his sense of humor.
What? Vader?
Vader's got a sense of humor.
Really? I wonder if we'll see this come out in Rogue One.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Now, this comes with a contest.
Uh-oh.
Now, the first one to let us know what question because I was in the audience as an 18-year-old, tell us what question I asked, and you win a copy of Chuck Wendig's follow-up to Aftermath, Life Debt. Go ahead and show everyone on Periscope.
Ba-bam.
There you go. This is the book you will be receiving.
Yay.
If you get this question correctly. Now, you hear my voice every week, so you should know what my voice sounds like, and it's in there. So all you gotta do is find it.
It is in there. He sounds a bit different, though.
Yeah. I was a third of my age I am now.
Yeah. Oh, whoa.
That was 29 years ago. I just did the math on that one. Oh, man.
Wow.
But the fact that I still have this video, now you guys get to share it, I'm very, very excited about that.
Wow.
All right, now we also have Shout-outs, Skywalker of the Week,
And things we want to share.
Things we want to share. Things we want to share. Things we want to share.
Hey everyone, my latest article was just posted on retrozap.com titled From Saw Gerrera to Jackson, crossing over classic Marvel comics into the Han Solo spin-off films.
It's a super awesome article. You worked very hard on that.
Well, thank you very much. I did, and we're covering this arc on our classic Marvel Star Wars comics show with Randy Martinez, and I thought, okay, wait a minute. If they're crossing over Saw Gerrera, then, you know what? Why not cross over some of these Marvel characters from this Han Solo arc? This was the very first expanded universe story to ever be told back in 1977. And there are so many good things in here that I thought, you know what? I just want to compile a list of things that we can cross over. Like, you know what? This goes without saying, Jackson.
Oh, awesome.
We need to see Jackson in the upcoming Han Solo spin-off film.
That would be cool.
And having the skeletal remains in The Force Awakens, that never really made it there, but that doesn't count.
What?
J.J. Abrams wanted to put these skeletal remains of Jackson on Jakku.
Oh my gosh.
So as Rey is passing by on her speeder, you see this skeleton. No, exactly.
Bad.
So that was one of the things that I really want to see in a Han Solo spinoff movie, as well as Han Solo in Sunday School. Did you ever think?
No,
Yeah.
but he does mention it in the classic Marvel Star Wars comics.
Yeah, so that's one of the things I really want them to cross over into the Han Solo film. And there's so much awesome dialogue, and if you've listened to classic Marvel Star Wars comics, we go into that in depth. And space gangs. We have bounty hunters, but someone said the wheel. And that's right. And Crimson Jack. Someone said one of our scope walkers said.
Yes, Star Wars
Crimson Jack. Books. We've got to see Crimson Jack.
Yeah, that would be so. I want to see him in real life.
You want to see him in a little tight unitard.
I want to see his legs.
Hey, you know what? I thought I did a pretty good Crimson Jack during the Star Wars marathon.
Yes, you did. My favorite Crimson Jack.
Well, that ties in. Oh, thank you very much. Ties into the space gangs because we don't see Star Wars space gangs.
Yes, we do. Conja Club. Yes.
We didn't really see much of them.
Well, I know, but they.
All right, okay, we'll give you that.
We saw it.
We'll give you that.
And who's the other counterpart to Conja Club?
The Irving Boys?
Yes.
We heard about them. But I'm talking about like Sergi X and the Cloud Riders.
Okay.
And these are from issues number 7 through 10. You'll see all of these characters and situations and ideas and Sergi X and the Cloud Riders. Ooh, Sergi X looks like Geraldo Rivera. So
He does.
Come on.
Oh my goodness.
Phil Lord, whose birthday is today. Happy birthday, Phil Lord, the co-director of the Han Solo spinoff film. We're doing it in honor of him. You know what, Phil? As a birthday present, we're giving you all these ideas. Just take them. Now I know Lawrence Kasdan and his son John, who's writing the screenplay, said it's all done, it's finished. And Doug Chang said it was the best screenplay he's ever read. I'm not telling them how to do their job. But let's look at this blog right over here, Mr. Kasdan's, and maybe get a few ideas.
Yeah.
You don't need to give me credit, but come on, please. We need to see Sergi X. We need to see Jackson and Han Solo in Sunday School. How funny would it be to see Han in his black vest and a little bow tie?
That would be cool. So, Skywalkers, head on over to retrozap.com and look for Richard's article, From Saw Gerrera to Jackson, Classic Marvel Star Wars Comics in the New Era.
In Phil Lord, You're welcome, and happy birthday. Now, let's talk Star Wars Land.
Yay! So this Monday, Disney Parks blog released new concept art for Star Wars Land at Disneyland in Anaheim. This is for Disneyland specifically, so I got all excited because obviously we live here. So this gives a better picture of how the Star Wars Land will be spread out and some things we may see. And also, it tells us what Disneyland is currently calling Star Wars Land.
Yeah, they're calling it Star Wars themed land.
Yes.
That's not gonna, no.
Well,
No.
obviously it's going to change at some point in time, but right now, I mean, the hashtag is so easy, hashtag Star Wars Land, so that's what I use and that's what I follow. So anyone who uses that hashtag, I see your stuff.
And we've already started the line over there, too.
Oh, yes, and some Skywalkers have continued that line.
If you're going over to Disneyland, right in, what is that, Critter Country?
No, it's right off of Fantasyland.
Oh, that's
right there.
Right next to that German-themed restaurant.
Yes.
There's the big wooden gate, and we've taken pictures of us as we're standing in line for Star Wars Land.
Yeah, so you can hashtag that Star Wars Land line.
Yeah, there you go. So more homework, Skywalkers. Now, Disney Parks blog editorial content director Erin Glover, she wrote, go ahead and read that.
Nestled between towering spires of rock, this thriving port contains a seemingly familiar architecture of markets, landing zones, and buildings. Look closely, and you may find hints of some of the thrilling experiences that are coming, like the Millennium Falcon peeking out of one of the cargo bays, marking the location where guests will get the opportunity to pilot the fastest hunk of junk in the galaxy.
All right, so this is awesome.
Yes.
So we're guessing at this point everyone has seen the picture, the concept art.
Yes, so head to Disney Parks blog. You can check it out there. Or I know I've posted the picture on our Facebook group.
All right, so here we are, and we are right above Tom Sawyer Island in this picture.
Uh-huh. And you can also see the rivers of America floating, right there. And also where the train will be going through.
Now, we never see this part of Rivers of America.
Yes, you do. If you do take the Mark Twain around, you see it. But because of Star Wars Land, actually the Rivers of America and that whole section will be smaller.
But you can't see that part of the river anywhere else except when you're on the Mark Twain riverboat.
You can see it from the train, I believe. You can see parts of it from the train.
Okay.
But you're inside. You're not going to be like this shows in this concept art pic. You're actually kind of on the ravine without anything overhead.
Okay.
Like when you're looking out, when you take the train now and you look out at the Rivers of America, I believe you're enclosed, or there's a bunch of trees over you, so it just feels like you're
there's
closed.
a whole bunch of trees because it always blocks our vision when we're trying to see Phantasmic.
Right.
So I'm guessing they're gonna, they want to enclose this as much as possible.
Well, I don't know, because it looks like from this concept art, you'll be able to see more of the rivers of America, at least. I don't know if you'll be able to see Star Wars Land from there, though.
How well hidden will this be from the rest of the park? You know how they like to keep their lands separated.
Right. That is a big question. And from this concept pic, we can't really tell.
Right.
Because from the picture, it looks like it's going to be elevated, but I doubt that. I think it'll be kind of on the same level as the rest of the park, so you won't really be able to see too much.
Yeah,
just those rock structures, probably.
Yeah, and all these trees around it will keep it hidden.
Yes.
So when we're at Disneyland and we're taking our video of the construction progress, we are on the other side of this picture.
Yeah, we're kind of at the top left of the picture and beyond.
All right, so as they keep
That's the
building,
parking structure, where the parking structure is.
We're over here?
Yes, the top left,
Okay.
and then keep going.
So as they keep building, we'll be able to see the progress. We won't be hidden by that mountain.
Yeah, right.
Someone just said
Yeah.
on Periscope, they heard that the train had stopped running temporarily. Yes, it has.
The train, stopped running for like a year and a half.
Yeah. Small
Unfortunately.
sacrifices.
Yes.
Now, let's go back to the question. As they're building this, we'll be able to see the progress, right?
Yes, and in fact, I did see today with that hashtag Star Wars Land that they are starting to build on all that dirt that we've seen them shoving around for the past 6 months.
Nice. Okay. All right, good. Because I want to see the progress here. Because from these photos here, I know we haven't been to this planet yet. I'm getting a very Naboo-themed feel.
Yeah, definitely. Those rounded buildings. It sounds really cool.
Yeah. Now, when you looked at this, and I'm sure you had studied it for hours like I did, what popped out to you?
Well, of course, the Millennium Falcon did. But when I was looking at it, I thought it was interesting how much is covered. Because for me, when I pictured Star Wars Land in my head, I pictured one main thoroughfare kind of going through the whole thing, and then you shoot off into like 3 different areas where the rides would be. But this actually looks like you walk in, there's going to be one courtyard, and then there's some buildings, and then there's maybe another walkway, but there's not really a main thoroughfare. Do you know what I mean?
Like a main street.
Right, but then upon further inspection, if you look, it looks like there will have covered walkways. So there's actually going to be one walkway that goes kind of parallel to the rivers of America, but half of it looks like it's covered with some interesting flags that look like they came from Maz Kanata's palace, perhaps.
Yeah, it looks like most of this, you're going to be covered.
Right.
Which I don't mind.
That's good. Yeah.
I don't mind that at all.
Yeah.
Because when it gets hot here, it gets hot here.
Right. What stuck out to you?
Well, the Millennium Falcon having a round radar dish, that really popped out to me. And I don't know if that's just the concept art and no one has ever corrected them. But it does stick out as, that seems like a worthy topic of conversation.
That is a round dish.
Because you're going to see resistance fighters in walking around Star Wars land.
Right.
So it's not like it's pre-Return of the Jedi, which it would have a round radar dish. So that's what stuck out to me, and the fact that it's landed in this little cargo bay. It's in this cargo bay area where right behind it looks like.
Well, that's going to be the ride.
Yeah. Well, then you can go inside the Millennium Falcon it's a meet and greet area. So they say you can pilot the Falcon, but from where?
Right. So, yeah, that's exactly what they say.
Seen.
But you know what's exciting about this is when I saw the Millennium Falcon in that picture, I immediately thought of the Hogwarts train. When you walk into Hogsmeade, it's like right there. That's the train. You're like, oh my gosh, it's the train. I'm in Hogsmeade. I think the Millennium Falcon would be a similar beacon.
Right, but it's not going to be at the front entrance. This is like right at the back of Star Wars land.
It's true, but I'm just saying that that's going to be your familiarity thing. That's going to be like, oh wow, we're in Star Wars land.
It's like you got to work to the Millennium Falcon.
Right.
And it looks like everything's laid out in a triangle.
Yeah, it does. So the top of the triangle is where the Falcon is.
Right.
Now, to the right of that, it looks like there's some kind of entrance to something.
Yeah, there's a platform here that has another round radar dish.
Radar dish, yeah. I wonder if that's the entrance to the Millennium Falcon, whatever you're going to do.
Oh, okay.
The ride, right?
Yeah.
And then the queue might be inside
that mountain.
And then it's going to make it look like you're going to enter the Millennium Falcon, but really you're going to probably enter different bays that will be your ride.
All right, but you know what? Come on. If they're going to have a Millennium Falcon, a 1-to-1 scale Millennium Falcon, you've got to walk up the entry ramp. And if you don't, I am going to throw a hissy fit unlike you've ever seen.
Okay.
Because just like Kevin Smith had said when he visited the set to Force Awakens, it just brings you back into your childhood. And it's something that you would never think you would ever do. Walk up the Millennium Falcon loading ramp.
So
come
awesome.
Come on.
Wow.
So they've got to have that. Now, if you look all the way to the right, what do you see tucked away right over here?
Oh, okay. So that to me looks like Masashi Temple.
Well,
but I know it's not. Maybe that's a restaurant.
Okay. But what I was pointing to is this ship. That was tucked away. That's a Lamda-class shuttle.
Oh my goodness, you're right.
In Return of the Jedi, the shuttle Tidarium.
Wow, that's the first time I've seen this. So this is the far right side of the triangle.
Yeah.
So nearest to where Big Thunder Ranch was, basically.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. That Big Thunder Ranch barbecue, that was right here. Yeah, and then right here was the petting zoo.
Oh, okay.
That first...
I love me some barbecue, but You know what? It was a necessary sacrifice.
It's true.
So yeah, I don't know if that's gonna be a ride. It has to be. If that's a restaurant, I'll throw a second hissy fit.
Why? It probably is.
You have a shuttle sitting there, and it's gonna be a restaurant.
Well, no, inside, because it looks like you go inside.
Well, there's a structure to the left of the shuttle.
Okay.
But now it can't just be sitting there as a prop. It's got to be actually
I think
functional.
it would be
it's got to be a ride, maybe a photo op. No, come on. It's a shuttle. It needs to be something.
I think it's going to be there as
No. It can't be a gift shop. All right, as a photo moment. Okay.
Right.
Okay, but don't make it into a restaurant.
Yeah. Oh.
What?
We'll be quiet as saying the Ewoks repurposed it for their own barbecue spot. Oh, that's funny. I like that.
That is funny.
Wouldn't it be cool to see Ewoks walking around?
Oh, are you kidding? Those performers would be dying.
Well, that's true. But that would be awesome.
It would be awesome. It would. I think I'd walk for 20 minutes without suffering heat stroke. Uh-huh. But now look right over here. We're looking at what is this? The
bottom of the triangle?
Center? Yeah. It's right where, how would you describe that? Right at the top of the Rivers of America.
What are you talking about? The clearing?
A clearing, yes.
Okay.
And if you zoom in here, looks like you get some kind of a beast of burden here.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Oh, you know what? This could almost be the beast that they showed at the Wonderful World of Disney 60th Anniversary Special, which had a segment hosted by Harrison Ford.
Right.
When he said, Star Wars, awesome.
And
they showed a behind-the-scenes clip, and they showed a beast of burden. And I'm sure that is it right there.
I have to go watch that again because...
Looks like something you can take pictures on.
Is that a Hapabor?
No. That would be awesome, though.
That would be funny. Okay.
And then someone pointed out way on the left, right over here, someone on our Facebook
The left
group,
triangle, okay.
They see a Blockade Runner right over here.
What?
Or a Corellian Corvette.
So the left part of the triangle, the left point?
Yes, all the way to the left. Right in that clearing right there, to the left of the X-Wing. Right there. See it? Right there?
Oh.
So that...
But would that be part of Star Wars land? That doesn't make sense if it's kind of not in it.
Maybe we'll see some Blockade Runners in Episode 8.
I don't know.
It looks like that could be it, though. But the more you zoom in, the more pixelated it gets, so it's hard to tell. But I'm going with the Blockade Runner because we need more than the Falcon and the shuttle. We need another ship. We can't just have the two. We need more.
Are we going to have ships flying overhead? That would be so cool. I've heard rumors of something like that, but I doubt it.
I don't know. Now, one more thing I want to point out.
Okay.
In the Rivers of America, you see a boat.
Yes, that's the Mark Twain.
Yeah, well, that's not the Mark Twain. Will they have the Mark Twain?
Or yes.
But this right here, that's not the Mark Twain. This looks like one of the Jabba sail skiffs.
I doubt that anything in the Rivers of America will be tied to Star Wars land.
Right, but look at that. Now, some commenters on the Disney Parks blog said it looked quite a bit like one of the keel boats from the old Mike Fink attraction, which closed in 1997.
Is that something at Disneyland?
I don't know. I don't know what that means, and I looked it up, but I couldn't find anything.
Okay.
But to me, I'm just saying this looks like a Jabba sail skiff.
Okay. In my opinion, it has nothing to do with Star Wars land. It's just illustrating the fact that you will still have the boats, whether it's Mark Twain or not, going around the Rivers of America, even with Star Wars land.
Yeah, but that'll take you out of it unless these shrubs are hiding.
Right. Hiding Star Wars land.
Yeah, because if we're in the zone, there's stormtroopers, maybe Ewoks, resistance fighters, and Mark Twain's sailboat, a riverboat.
Yeah.
That'll take you right out of it.
Well, there are a lot of trees there, so that's probably going to hide the line right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's hope. All right. Now, I know we just mentioned the special that aired last February, the Wonderful World of Disneyland's 60th anniversary. So here now is that clip where they go into the making of Star Wars Land, in case you didn't see it.
For almost 40 years, we've watched the Star Wars universe happen on screen. Now, we at Walt Disney Imagineering have joined forces with the imagination of Lucasfilm to bring this galaxy to life at Disneyland and Walt Disney World Resorts. You've watched the saga. Now enter these authentic locales with your every sense engaged. You're meeting droids and aliens, entering an otherworldly street market, actually tasting the local delicacies, and going upscale at the planet's best dinner club. Or, for the truly adventurous, heading down to the local cantina. The stories are epic. The locations, breathtaking. It's all coming to Disney Parks, the place where Star Wars lives.
All right, so any other comments you want to make before we move on?
Well, just that when we do go to Disneyland, every time we'll be taking photos from the Mickey and Friends parking structure to see the progress of Star Wars Land. So stay tuned to Twitter, the hashtag Star Wars Land. Follow us at Skywalking Pod, and I will retweet other people who are also posting pictures. So it's super exciting.
Well, not just pictures, but also video.
Yeah, that as well. So it's super exciting to see this happen. And I love that from the Mickey and Friends parking structure, we can still see what's going on. Now, I have no idea how long they'll allow that, but I think it's pretty cool. Because at Hollywood Studios, there's a huge wall. No one can see what's going on. And there's no updates there because no one can see what's going on. So
Right, but how can they prevent people from seeing that?
What, at Hollywood
Disneyland.
Studio. Well,
at Disney.
Right, at Disneyland.
They'll need walls 5,000 feet high.
I know. So that's exciting. So I'm glad.
Even with Cars Land, you could see a lot of the progress from
true.
standing on different points.
Yeah. It's true. So we are excited about that. Just stay tuned, Skywalkers, and we can't wait to have lots and lots and lots of meetups there, every week.
Yeah.
Under the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Do you think they'll maybe announce the opening date at Star Wars Celebration Europe?
No. I don't think they'll be ready at that point.
Or give us a ballpark.
I think maybe next year, Star Wars Celebration, they might be able to announce, but I don't think before then, because construction is always so fluid and rides are always so fluid. The Imagineers are still working. These rides are not set in stone. The Imagineers are working on them, working them out.
And as we learned from Shanghai Disney, things don't always go according to plan.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, Skywalkers will be definitely meeting up there soon and often.
Yes, once it opens.
All right. Now, before we move on with the rest of the show, I've got to say that Friday, July 15th, a new Rogue One trailer will kick off Star Wars Celebration Europe.
Oh, is that confirmed?
That is confirmed.
Oh, exciting.
Now, for those not attending, like us, we will get the chance when ABC airs it at 8 p.m. during Secrets of the Force Awakens, a cinematic journey. Now, that was one of the bonus features on the Force Awakens DVD.
Okay, I recognize that name. I'm like, wait, haven't we seen that? Yes.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So now we'll have to watch it again and watch for this new Rogue One trailer.
Oh, exciting.
Oh, I'm so excited. Now, I don't know when they'll premiere it at Star Wars Celebration Europe, but if it's at 11...
I believe it's going to be 4 p.m. The mean time, or that's the Rogue One panel is at 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, which means that's 8 a.m. our time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So by 8:03, it'll be up on YouTube.
Yes.
All right, so I'm so excited. Now, predictions. Do you think we're going to see Darth Vader?
Maybe we'll hear him.
Okay, let me re-ask the question. Do you want to see Darth Vader in this trailer?
No.
Do you want them to pull a Luke from The Force Awakens where you don't see him?
Well, I just want
until you see the movie?
Basically, yeah. I just want to hear him see the movie.
Someone said hear him breathe.
Yeah, Disney Dad Blog agrees with me. I want to hear him breathe in the trailer, but I don't want to see him yet.
But have we seen that too many times where we just hear before the Attack of the Clones trailer we heard him breathe?
I don't care. I think if they use it right, I think it'll work. But I do want to say that I hope they don't show him because, and I'm likening this to Cinderella, the live action movie.
Moving on.
No.
Moving on.
Hey, no, the live action trailer for Cinderella. Live
Someone
action
said, no, that's
movie.
right. See?
No, hey, but what they did in the trailer was show her dress and everything and the slipper. It's like I would want to wait to see the movie so that when I see the movie, I'm like, oh, there's her beautiful blue gown. Oh, there's what her glass slipper looks like. But no, they showed it in the trailer. They gave it all away. They gave away what her fairy godmother looked like, and I was not as excited to see the movie.
I would want to see flashes of a red lightsaber.
Okay. With breathing?
With breathing, I'll go for that.
Okay.
But if it's just breathing, then that's something they've already done before in Attack of the Clones in that trailer.
I think it would be cool.
All right. Okay. Well, I just can't wait.
Okay.
I can't wait for that.
We can't wait. We'll be up. We'll be watching.
All right. So that will wrap up things we want to share.
Shout-outs, Skywalker shout-outs. Which Skywalkers get props from here in Neverland? Who was tweeted out? Shout-out. Who was photobombed? Shout-out. Who was shared a post? Shout-out.
Doesn't really matter that we're not over in England enjoying the festivities, the celebration in Europe, or even over at Euro Disney.
Yes. Well, at Disneyland Paris?
Yeah, you know what? When it was first created, it was called Euro Disney.
Yes.
Because we have Trisha Barr over there doing some periscoping for us.
Yes. She is currently in Europe right now, making us very jealous.
Very, very.
But she has also graciously offered to be our podcast liaison over there. She has access to our Skywalking Pod Twitter and Periscope accounts, so you may be seeing some periscopes from Disneyland Paris and Star Wars Celebration Europe and some tweets from there too. So just to let you know, Skywalkers, that's not Richard and I beaming over there every so often.
Hey, that's a Star Trek reference.
Every couple hours.
I got that.
That's Trisha Barr. So next week or the week after, we will be sharing some of her stories from her whole trip and hopefully some of her recordings on our show. She'll also be sharing those on some more on Fangirls Going Rogue, and so we look forward to that in the coming weeks. So we want to pre-thank Trisha for being our eyes and ears over there.
Such a sport.
Yeah, so exciting. And on Instagram, I haven't mentioned our Skywalking Pod Instagram in a while, so I will this week. On one of our posts, Jeremy1138 Bentley writes, "Man, I love the show. Got to see you both at Star Wars Celebration Anaheim at the live podcast. Really wish I could have gotten a picture with you both.
Oh.
Thanks for the amazing work you both do for everything, not just the wars." Aw. So thank you, Jeremy. That was a lovely post.
Yeah, I'm wondering why you didn't come over and get a picture with us.
Well, it was a busy time,
It was, but I want to get pictures with all the Skywalkers.
Yeah, so Jeremy, if you happen to be around, don't hesitate to come up and say hi and ask for a picture, and we'll gratefully get a picture with you.
So we'll see you at Star Wars Celebration Orlando.
Yay. Awesome.
Or sooner.
All right, so let's jump to Twitter, where we are at Skywalking Pod, and we had a fun little tweet from @BBickerstaff, and they tweeted, "Loved the Bresnikan interview and didn't want it to end. Great job."
Neither did we.
That's why I was like, we were like talking with him for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Something crazy.
Yeah,
It was
or
great.
even after the show. He's just such a fun guy who just loves to talk about Star Wars and fandom. And man, is this guy humble.
Yes.
This is the most humble man I've ever had the pleasure of talking with.
Yeah. Yeah, and speaking of Anthony Bresnikan, he will be over at Star Wars Celebration Europe, and Trisha Barr, back to Trisha, she will be doing a joint Fangirls Going Rogue and Star Wars Report live podcast, and Anthony Bresnikan will be one of the people they will interview at that podcast. That was just confirmed today, I believe.
Oh, good deal.
Yeah, so
Good deal.
that is super exciting.
You know what? We should send them the jingle. So they can play Anthony Bresnikan's jingle when he's introduced.
Let's make a note of that. Now let's head over to our Facebook group, our official Skywalking Through Neverland Facebook group, where John Liang, he posted a picture of a brand new Skywalking Through Neverland shirt and BB-8 Mickey ears shirts, which look amazing, of course, and he posted, well, looky what showed up today in the mail. So, that's just the kind of post we like to see. Thank you, John.
Yeah, I can't wait to go to the next convention or meetup and see all these Skywalking shirts.
Oh, it'd be so cool. Yeah. And I want to remind you, Skywalkers, if you have not already and you would like to join our Facebook group, it is a closed group, which means you have to request to join. So if you'd like to join us, if you're a listener of the show, please request to join. And then shoot a message to our Skywalking Through Neverland Facebook page letting us know that you'd like to join, because I'm carefully curating our group and only letting listeners of the show and fellow like-minded podcasters in on the fun, because many of you have expressed a wish for the group to stay friendly, positive, intimate, so.
And there are a lot of weirdos who want to get in.
Yeah, so
who have nothing to do with Star Wars or Disney.
Right.
And I'm not using that term lightly. I mean weirdos. And I don't want that anywhere near you Skywalkers.
Right. So we are carefully curating our members. So please follow those directions. And I know several of you have done that this past week. So we want to thank you for doing that. And you have joined the group. So yay.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah.
And now, here is the Skywalker of the Week.
Fishbuck, Jeffrey Fishbuck, Jeffrey Fishbuck of Team Hoojib.
Jeffrey Fishbuck, you are the Skywalker of the Week.
Congratulations, and thanks so much for bringing Team Hoojib to Facebook.
Love the Hoojib love.
Yes.
And if you love Hoojibs, you will not want to miss Star Wars Celebration Orlando, because we are planning a Hoojib holiday in lieu of Easter.
Of course,
so this will be the non-religion version of Easter. Unless you can count Star Wars as a religion.
Well, you can have both. You can have both, but yes, yay.
Yes.
Hoojib hunting doesn't sound good.
No, not at all.
But yeah.
All right, so we hope you enjoyed your jingle by Rob Dellinger,
the John Williams of podcasting,
and the composer of Skywalking Through Neverland Awesome Jingle Mix Volume 1. Coming soon to an iTunes outlet near you.
iTunes is near everyone.
Oh, there you go.
Star Wars Celebration. Star Wars Celebration. Let's celebrate.
All right, Skywalkers, let's travel back in time 29 years to Star Wars Celebration 0. Now, once again, this was the Star Wars 10th anniversary convention.
Oh, so 1987.
And like we said at the beginning, this is the George Lucas Q&A in its entirety, and it is so fun to listen to, because he does make the proclamation, there will be more Star Wars, and he makes some other announcements where maybe follow through, maybe he didn't. I'm still waiting to see 7 more Howard the Ducks.
Oh, it's funny just putting that timestamp on it. 1987. Listen to it with that time in mind.
Right. And like we were saying earlier, some of his questions are short and to the point because he's got jet lag, and being a shy man, they just threw the microphone at him and shoved him up on stage and said, "Go."
All right. So when can we listen?
Well, we'll listen right now, and as a special treat, here is the introduction by R2, 3PO, and a very comedic Darth Vader. And once again, listen for my voice in this video. Oh. I'm an 18-year-old, and I'm asking George Lucas a question. If you can guess which one is me, what question I ask, you will win a copy of Chuck Wendig's follow-up to Aftermath called Life Debt.
It's a hardcover, too, right here in my hot little hands.
It could be yours. So if they do guess it, where should they reach out to us?
All right, so if you do know, please send an email to share@skywalkingthroughneverland.com. That way, no one else can see your answer.
And now here is R2-D2, C-3PO, Darth Vader, and George Lucas 29 years ago.
I've been so worried. No, not about me. About you. Just where are we? Los Angeles. Now I'm really worried. You're right. I shall just have to be brave, as usual. But don't you leave my side again. We are here for a most important rendezvous. A meeting with Master George. No, I can't see him either. Mind you, he's rather short. No, there's nothing wrong with that. Especially when you are as brilliant as he is. I wonder if you don't suppose we landed in the wrong time zone. R2-D2, what are you doing? How many times have I told you not to speak to strangers? Well, they look strange to me. Now, I suppose I had better speak to them. Pardon me for asking, but has anyone here seen George Lucas? Oh dear. I think something is going terribly wrong. What? I have a very bad feeling about this.
T-shirts, buttons and name badges. Your arms are overflowing, cameras and costumes and collector's items. If ever I saw one, this is a wretched hive. Taking a picture of me, you have nothing to fear. All my sides are my best. Enough of this frivolous chatter. I am not here to do lunch or take a meeting or have fun in the sun. I'm here on business, and I have only one thing to say to you. Correction. I have only 9 things to say. the Disneyland Star Tours. I had a marvelous idea involving a carbon freezing chamber. Is it true that my son, Luke, is starring in a Broadway show? Number 5. Earlier this afternoon, I walked through the dealer rooms, wearing the disguise, of course, so as not to attract attention. And I demand to know what stuck up half-witted, scruffy has turned my magnificent head into coin banks. Number 6. I want to know these plans. Shall I be included in future Star Wars movies? Or shall I exist as nothing more than a fictional thing in the hopes and dreams of bad little children? Number 7. Who is this man, James Earl? Credit for my voice. What's that? He's an actor on Broadway. I wonder if he knows my son. Number 8. Once and for all, I'd like to find out, is it faster to get here from the Chinese theater by taking La Hacienda all the way, going west on Santa Monica Freeway to San Diego? Well, perhaps questions of that depth should be saved for a more philosophical gathering. Number 9. Each morning of my life, I stand before my dressing table and say, mirror, mirror, who's the foulest? Much to my delight, the mirror answers you, Lord Vader. Yet lately, there's a tremor in the voice. The mirror has told me of one far more powerful than I. One who can be as foul or as good as he chooses. In fact, one who has the full spectrum of the Force at his command. For he created the Force as he created my son, my daughter, even myself. So, I decided I must see this other. I must confront him in the flesh. I must bring him here before you, so that all may question him. Pray, I ask the mirror, give me his name, rank, and serial number. His serial number is THX. And his name is Lucas. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel his presence here, now.
sense, it's the Force. It's great to see you all here. Loyal fans. They're the ones that helped make Star Wars what it was. It's will be. Sometime in the future. Not quite sure when. So when we get to the answer question part, we can forget that question. That's always the first one to get asked. Actually, I thought there was going to be a host here to help answer questions and that sort of thing, so I didn't really have a speech. Everything's great. You didn't miss a thing.
Okay, may we have the house lights?
I thought there were only 7 of you in here.
Question? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Renew your association with Copeland for American Zoetrope?
I heard it, but I'm not sure I understand it. I am making a film with Francis. It's called Tucker. It is a Lucasfilm production, and it will hopefully come out sometime next summer.
Yes?
In Star Wars, was the Stormtrooper blooper deliberate, accidental, or you guys were not even aware of it?
Which one?
They just said it in Death Star, and they walked through.
I mean Luke?
No. R2-D2 and C-3PO were locked in the closet. 3 Stormtroopers blasted the door and marched in.
Right, oh yeah.
In the corner, was that something that got missed in the dailies, or was just that deliberately as a joke, or was it just...
It was something, it was reality. It was something that happened that we left in. There's actually a lot more of those than just that one, though. Look carefully next time.
Could you please explain the Journal of the Will?
I'm not sure I can do that. That was where the original Star Wars saga came from. It was a larger work that I had been working on, that Star Wars was just a piece of.
Yes, way back over there. Yep. Can't hear you.
Are you louder? Trilogy. Your trilogy first, and then the last one, or vice versa?
Yeah, I'll do the first trilogy first. Well, there are 9 floating around there somewhere. And I'll guarantee that 3 are pretty much organized in my head, and there's a lot of notes on it. But the other 3 are kind of out there somewhere.
Yes, ma'am.
We just want to say no questions, but thank you for being so unselfish and share your galaxy with us.
Yes, sir. White.
Will we be seeing Indiana Jones again?
Well, between flying to London to work on Willow and flying back here to work on Tucker, I am working on the 3rd Indiana Jones.
I don't know if I'm the only one from Modesto here, but I know Modesto says love.
direct again?
Yeah. Probably someday in the future.
A little more serious, I was wondering your feelings about how you feel of the loss of copyright to the title Star Wars in public domain, how it's being applied by groups to SDI, how you feel about all that.
Well, Star Wars isn't in the public domain. It can be used in reference to a news event, but it's definitely not in the public domain. That was an unfortunate set of circumstances, but there's not much one can do about it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so we just get to find out how the Jedi came about in the first place.
Actually, it's referred to, but they came about considerably before the first 3 chapters.
We'll get more...
Get more information about them, definitely.
Right.
Way in the back of the yellow. You ever have Spielberg with next Star Wars?
We've discussed it, but it's a lot of work. I think he knows that.
Right here on the aisle. You enjoy your 2-year vacation.
Well, it wasn't much of a vacation. It was actually, now that I'm working again, it actually feels like a vacation. But we did a number of films during that period that I wasn't, was into as I am now.
Yes, sir. Right there.
What is the story, or are you aware, at the end of Jedi, or towards the end of Jedi, the Emperor is lashing out the lightning bolts at Luke? With trapped or hidden within the soundtrack, there's a voice that says, "Use the Force, Luke." Yes or no? Are you aware of that?
Only Ben Burtt knows for sure.
Yes, sir.
What kind of research did you do for preparing the saga? Mythological and biblical, etc.
Well, it was quite a bit of research. It went on for 2 years, so I was writing and doing research at the same time. And it, was really studying a lot about mythology and about fairy tales and general sociology and psychology.
It was a balloon. Yeah. What is it? Tell me.
Repeat what the TV movie or released on videotape?
Yeah.
I believe the movie was released on videotape, and I'm not sure whether they're going to rerun it on television or not.
Lady, way in the back.
I've heard a rumor within the industry that pre-production on Star Wars Episode 1 was beginning in January 1988.
That is untrue.
Yes, on the aisle.
Yeah, are you going to be doing more with Disneyland? And I heard the rumor, too, that Indiana Jones might be involved.
I'd like to do more with Disney, and hopefully that will come about. And there is a possibility of an Indiana Jones right there.
Tell us something about Willow.
Well,
Willow.
Willow is a fantasy. It's not a space fantasy, but it's a more straightforward fantasy. It's the most exciting thing I've really been involved with since Raiders. It's the first thing I've actually created since Raiders. And I must say it's going extremely well. We're about 5 weeks into shooting. And I think it's going to be a very exciting picture. It's in a genre that has had hard times. The industry generally feels it's a dead genre like Western. But I believe fantasy can live, and we're trying to prove it.
Yes, are you going to, by any chance, put out a movie about the Jedi? At the beginning, so they have something to go by?
No.
you have the young filmmakers?
Yeah. Persevere. Work very hard. And always do the best at whatever you do, no matter how lowly the job seems.
There's only one record in the Jedi soundtrack and not two.
And so what was the question? We just didn't feel there was enough new music to warrant 2 records.
I'd like to take the opportunity to wish you a belated happy birthday.
Thank you. It's never been established who taught in the Force, but actually, you know, he's got me on what race he is. He's a little green man with big ears. Mel Brooks thinks he's Yiddish. It was just what the story dictated. You know, sometimes you don't have control of these things. You start to sit down to write, and they just sort of take on their own life. He was evil anyway.
Why did you decide to
Rehabilitate him? Well, that was from the original story too. That's what the story was all about. Well, Alan Dean came in after the fact. I mean, after we actually finished shooting the film, and we're in the middle of shooting the film, and novelized the script, basically. Influenced it? Influenced me? Well, most of the writers my favorite writers are more Russian or very early English, not science fiction writers. Not at this time. He was supposed to do that, he said. Yes.
We all noticed the lack of women in the trilogy.
We all noticed the lack of women in the trilogy, and therefore,
Are you ready to bring more into the next one?
will more be in the next ones.
Well, what was Princess Leia? Well, if you're making a war film, and you figure out how you're going to put women in,
yes.
Think of all the other war films. Think of The Longest Day or some of those other films. Count how many women are in those films. Well, it's your galaxy. I have to cope with the rest of the world. And still make it believable. I'm not sure how many women will be in the other films. Those are the things that also sort of plots dictate. And what would the film have been like if Han Solo had been a woman?
Might have been better.
For a parody film such as Spaceballs, do you have to give consent to insert such a request to Double X?
Do you have to give your approval for a movie like Spaceballs to be made?
No. Parody is allowed under the law. It depends on how close he gets, but...
In the record that was starring Obi-Wan said to Luke that truth was from your point of view. Were you aware of that? Did you agree with it, or?
Well, when we did that, they had to cut quite a bit out, in order to get it on an album. And there were a lot of things that were removed that we just had to sort of take out. And it was sort of, sometimes it was a painful process. But we couldn't do everything and still have the story make sense, have a story that made sense and get it on the time limit.
Everyone knows that you were a student at USC, but now with all of your fantastic success and your genius, is there any particular course that you would suggest that students at USC now particularly take? Anything over anything else?
Are there any USC courses or film school courses, I guess, in general, that you would recommend?
Would recommend now?
Writing.
Are you planning on doing a radio version of Jedi and when?
Are you planning on doing a radio version of Jedi?
I don't know what the situation is on that. The ones we've done in the past, I'm not sure exactly what's happened on Jedi. And it really has to do with the public radio more than anything else. No. The question was, is there ever going to be a film release that has the scenes with Biggs at the power station that were at one point shot and cut out, put back? And basically they didn't work. And it was that whole thing came about because I had a lot of friends that read the script and said, oh, this isn't going to work, this is terrible. You're just making THX all over again. It's all about robots and things. So you've got to put some people in the beginning of this movie. For the first 20 minutes, there's no people. And I said, oh, okay. And so I put Luke in the beginning of the movie, but we cut it together and it just didn't work. So I put it back the way it originally was intended, which was the first 20 minutes just got birds in it.
Yes. Will there be another season of Ewoks by Lamda-class?
No. That was canceled by UC.
Yes. How close is Skywalker Ranch to completion, and what do you see in the future for that? What are your hopes about Skywalker Ranch?
How close to completion is Skywalker Ranch, and what is the future of Skywalker Ranch?
It's all but finished, and it's now operating as an office and studio complex, mostly post-production.
Way back in the back. Yes? Any what collaboration? Fan collaboration? Ed? Yeah.
Not that I know of.
Lifting the helmet.
I heard you said that Kurosawa's and Power is your favorite film. Is that also your favorite genre?
Which one? He was talking about Kurosawa films?
Yeah, I heard it said that Power was your favorite film. Is that also your favorite genre?
I'm not really familiar with the film Tower, actually. I'm a big fan of Kurosawa's films, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Will we see the droids brought back to Saturday morning or even in a late night movie?
Will the droids be brought back on Saturday morning television or...
We know the storyline with them. We don't know what happened to them.
We don't know what happened.
Well, unfortunately, that show was canceled also, and I'm not sure that we're going to be able to get it back on the air.
Yes, sir.
How many theaters have THX sound in them, and do you plan on expanding them?
How many theaters now have equipment for THX sound, and what expansion is planned with that system?
We have several hundred theaters now, and we've just started to go international. We've got a theater in Paris and London, and we're equipping quite a number of theaters in Canada, and we're working every day to equip more theaters with THX.
I want to know why in Return of the Jedi, neither the Emperor nor Darth Vader never mentioned anything about Yoda. They always talk about Ben teaching them. Why don't they talk about Yoda or about Yoda?
You hear that?
Maybe they don't know anything about him.
Yes. Are you ever going to do a new Star Tours adventure, or will it always be the same adventure?
That's up to Disney, but I would assume that in a number of years they would change it to a different program.
Yes.
How would you sum up your philosophy of life and your philosophy of filmmaking?
In the time remaining, would you sum up your philosophy of life and of filmmaking?
You sound like a reporter. So they always say, do it in about 2 sentences.
What?
Well,
Seats for a second.
Try to enjoy life and love people.
Yes, right there.
So all the films you worked on in your career, which of you enjoyed working on the most and why?
Of all the films you've worked on in your career, which ones did you enjoy most and why?
Well, all the films, I think I loved Indiana Jones. I mean, the Raiders the most because it just went together like a dream, and it was, for me, it was a great relief because up to that point I'd been directing.
Yes, way in the back. Yep. You don't really have to yell. West End Games is producing a Star Wars role-playing game. When will it be available? Do you work for it?
That's a detail of my empire that I'm just not acquainted with.
With a blue cap.
Okay. Question, comment. How many more Indiana Jones was going to be made? And I don't care what the critic says, I like Howard the Duck.
Well, there's going to be at least one more Indiana Jones because we're working on it right now. And there'll be 7 more Howard the Ducks.
Here's one. Are there going to be any more Star Wars movies, right?
Someday.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you doing any other science fiction films of other ideas?
Are you going to do any other science fantasy films?
We have a few that I'm toying with at this point, and might start on a screenplay of one of them next year sometime.
Are we ever going to get to see any of the bloopers from Star Wars Empire or Jedi?
Will you ever see any of the bloopers from the making of the movies?
on a budget, and we didn't really have time to print up the bloopers, or the money. And the truth of it is, there weren't that many. It wasn't. Some films you have a lot of bloopers on, and some you don't. I mean, most of the bloopers we have are stormtroopers running around with their helmets bouncing off.
Yes.
Does or will Lucasfilm ever have internships for young filmmakers?
Will Lucasfilm ever have internships for young filmmakers?
We're a very small company. And from time to time we have hired people, not as young filmmakers, but in various work capacities. And those people have gone on to rise through the company. So we do that, but it's on a very limited scale because it's not a very big company.
Thank you.
Over here!
It appears that you prefer producing over directing. Why is that?
It's the difference between a 60-hour work week and a 120-hour work week.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you share with us what were some of your gurus, people that influenced your life?
Can you share with us some of the people who influenced your life? Presumably you're thinking your gurus, okay.
That's a hard question to answer in a few words. There are either a very large number or none, depending on how you look at it. I have a lot of influences in my life that have come and gone through the years. I don't know whether there's any one particular person or two or three particular persons that I've been struck with or followed as a guru or anything like that. I've been fortunate to know and read some fascinating people and take them with big set to heart.
Cap.
Yeah, in 3 years of the 10th anniversary of Empire, will there be a convention or an anniversary for that?
No. And I'll let him answer. In 3 years there'll be a 10th anniversary of the Empire. Will there be a convention celebrating that occasion?
That's only something he can answer.
I have a couple questions. One, when you do the first trilogy, if you couldn't feel like the first movie, will you continue with the second? And will we see more of Yoda in the first movie?
Yeah. If you do the first trilogy and the critics don't like it, will you go ahead and do the third trilogy? Is that it? Ed? It's real hard to hear up here. We're hearing fragments of sentences.
Who cares about the critics?
Who cares about the critics?
Well, as long as enough of you support the films, there'll always be the films.
Will you be working on another movie with Jim Henson, like Dark Crystal?
I'm not sure. We have close ties between Lucasfilm and Henson Associates, and I think that there's a possibility that something may come up in the next few years, but right now there's nothing planned.
Way back there. Any more Ewok films?
Well, I answered that before we're here, but not at this time. We made two of them, and we were going to do a third, but they actually become very expensive to make, so we're sort of holding off.
Yes? Purple.
My question from the third movie, in the credits after the movie, the character, nobody knows who he is. His name keeps
credits, there's a credit for a character named Nikki. Who is it?
It's played by who? Yeah, it's an Ewok, I think. Was it in the Ewok credits?
No.
I don't know.
Back to this area, yeah. Back there. Way back, standing up. Yep, you're the one. What is the meaning of THX 1138?
THX 1138. That's the meaning.
Yes,
Not involve yourself directly in the production of graphics.
Do you intend to involve yourself with Steven Spielberg?
Executive producing.
Executive producing?
Other people's films.
Other people's films? As does Mr. Spielberg. Such as Back to the Future.
Well, I've done a bit of that, and I will probably continue to do it. I'm hoping to make anywhere from 3 to 5 pictures a year as time goes on.
Once Upon a Lifetime had a very, I think, limited release and a concept on cable, so I was very, very fascinated by it. How did that come about?
That was an animated film that I did with John Cordy, and it had a rather innovative new technique involved. And it was, again, one of those films that got a very limited release. I made a few of those. The film is called Twice Upon a Time. And shown in about 50 theaters for about a week. And it ended up on cable, and it's on cassette. Now it's going to be.
Right from there. Yep. In the Star Wars trilogy, who was your favorite character?
Well, I can't say with Darth Vader around.
Yes? Out of the trilogy, which is your favorite movie?
Well, I see it as one movie.
Yeah.
When will you be going back in production for Back to the Future?
When will you? When will you be going back into production for Back to the Future?
That's my clone, and they are working on it. I think they're going to go into production sometime next summer.
Are there any current comic books that you keep up with?
No.
Yes, right here. Why was the Lucasfilm fan club dissolved?
Well, we had a lot of intense meetings about that, and decided that since there weren't that many films coming out, that it would be inappropriate to keep it in its present form. And what we're doing is working on a different arrangement whereby another group of people are going to start it up again.
Yes, Black?
What were you doing at 11 a.m. the night before Star Wars opened Nathan Wise? And how were your feelings about it? Did you know instinctively that was going to be a commercial hit, or were you very secure about it?
Did you know instinctively that Star Wars was going to be a hit? What were you doing just before it opened?
I was doing foreign dubs on a film. I was at Golden Studios, mixing the foreign versions of the film, and I really had no idea it was going to be a big hit.
Yes.
Why didn't you give Luke a girl?
Yes, you heard that one? Why didn't you give Luke a girl?
You haven't seen the last three yet.
We're running a little long, and we still have several exciting things to do.
Our duty to come back here at once. They're not ready yet. I'm extremely sorry, everyone. Aren't you get so excited about birthdays, I'm afraid he just can't control himself. I can't control him either, so, well, on with the ceremony. Master Carey. For your birthday, aren't you? I'm going to get you a restraining boat.
We have some very important and wonderful people with us this evening to join this celebration. And I'd like to introduce them to you now and let them join us here on the stage. Some of them will be a surprise to you, and some of them you have met if you enjoyed some of our wonderful programming at this convention during the last 2 days. First of all, I'm delighted to present a man who was around from the very first of Star Wars, the former head of marketing and licensing for what was then titled the Star Wars Corporation, and now Lucasfilm, and producer of the forthcoming film Judge Dredd.
It's overwhelming to see all of you. It's been 10 years. You were there right from the beginning, and it's great to see you still here. Thanks a lot.
And now the man who is former Vice President of Lucasfilm Marketing and the current head of worldwide marketing for Paramount Pictures. And you've seen him at many, many fan conventions since he rubs elbows with all of us very happily. Mr. Sid Gannett.
As the father of Star Wars, your child is 10 years old tomorrow. In 3 years, the child will be 13 and going through puberty, and you'll really have problems.
Man who's a former USC Film School student with Gary Kurtz and George Lucas, and director of several wonderful pictures that border on this genre or are solidly in Never Say Never Again, Eyes of Laura Morris, and The Empire Strikes Back.
George Lucas was greater than Einstein. Well, you see, Einstein invented a little formula, and everybody went ahead and spent millions of dollars to create what they call the atom bomb. George creates a name called Star Wars. And to justify it, they go ahead and spend billions of dollars to make SDI. But I'm going to tell you a secret. There is a secret in this, but you mustn't tell anybody outside of this room. It's a government secret. You know who invented SCI Star Wars? Darth Vader.
Now, an awfully nice gentleman who has been involved in some of our very favorite productions. He produced American Graffiti, Star Wars, and The Empire Strikes Back, not to mention Return to Oz, Dark Crystal, and lots yet to come. Gary Kurtz.
Take this opportunity, George, to thank a few of the key fans that made Star Wars work. First, foremost, you, as the creator, who have the foresight to see a whole generation of kids that have never seen space fantasy. And then Alan Ladd, then head of 20th Century Fox, who had believed in the vision. And those fans who were in San Francisco on May 21st, 1977, for that preview, who vindicated to Fox for us the fact that the film was actually working. And last but not least, one fan at that screening who wrote on his preview card, "This is the worst movie I've ever seen since Godzilla versus the Smog Monster." And that fan was enough to make sure we didn't take ourselves too seriously.
Now, a man from another science fiction universe, which is equally as miraculous. They've never even been together in public, and I'm delighted to present to you the father of Star Trek.
Star Wars fan. I have been from the first time I saw it, but when I first saw it, I was sort of angry because it was one of those films, you see, that I wish I had done it. And then I had that terrible feeling that I don't think I really could have. The great pleasure for me, and I think for George too, in this, is that we have our own shows and our own universes. And neither of us have tried to do the other ones. And there's a lesson in that for all of you. Do your thing, you know?
George, in a manner of speaking, this is one of the largest birthday parties ever assembled, the 10th anniversary of the premiere of Star Wars. And what would a birthday party be without having something fattening involved? So, C-3PO, the cake, if you please.
The cake, if you please. What do you mean you haven't got it? Somebody stole it. Who could be mean enough to steal a birthday?
Before you do that, we have a special guest that I want to join this party because he adds a certain champagne to all the occasions that he's involved in. The co-producer of Creation Conventions, Adam Malin. Before we do, we have one more special thing. A little friend of yours has prepared something very special for this occasion. And it's something that he's never done before. And it's just for you. Yes, now. While we slice the cake and pop the champagne, we'd like to bring up the house lights, please, and ask all of you to join us in singing that old favorite, Happy Birthday, Dear Star Wars. Okay? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Star Wars. Happy birthday to you.
Master George, pardon me, but I just can't contain my excitement any longer. All these wonderful people have prepared such a surprise, a very special gift for you. Oh, it's quite unique, and here it is.
Please welcome my partner, the co-publisher of Starlog magazine and hardly ever visible Norman Jacobs.
Wonderful, Master George. It's a picture of me. But I think it's a splendid likeness, don't you?
I'm overwhelmed. Thank you very much. Thank you for being the loyal fans that you are. And it's, without you, truly, Star Wars wouldn't have been around as long as it's been around.
Skywalking through Neverland.
Before we wrap up, we want to remind everyone of your Skywalking homework, and that is to email us your questions for Margaret Carey or Ask Tink.
If you have a pressing question you want to ask Margaret Carey about yourself, about personal problems, man, she's funny.
Yes.
She's funny.
Yes.
So send them in by August the 1st.
Okay.
The jingles, I would say within the, let's say by August 1st as well.
Okay.
Because Rob has got to
Compile.
mix all of those into one big super track.
Yes.
And the Skywalker stories and the Skywalker moments are just an ongoing series. So so send in those story summaries to share at skywalkingthrough.neverland.com as well. That wraps up episode 128 of Skywalking Through Neverland. We want to give a big thank you to George Lucas for doing that Q&A 29 years ago. Much appreciated. And if you notice at the very end, he says, "Neverland on Alderaan."
I noticed that. I don't know about you.
Oh, yeah, of course I did. Of course I did.
And we want to thank all the Scope Walkers out there who watched on Periscope, because every week we Periscope part of the episode of our show. And this week there was 121 Scope Walkers total. So, wow. Thank you, Skywalkers.
Thank you very much for being part of the family.
Yeah.
Now, we are part of the RetroZap.com family, where you can find awesome shows like Bruisin' Blasters,
The Deuce Cast movie show,
Techno Retro Dads,
and Talking Apes TV. Oh, and a special shout out to Blabba the Hutt, which will be doing a live podcast at Star Wars Celebration Europe this week.
Nice,
wow.
nice.
Exciting, guys.
Now let's backtrack to Talking Apes TV, where our latest episode just came out last Monday, where we review the episode of the Return to the Planet of the Apes animated series, Screaming Winds. So if you ever want to see apes and airplanes, this is the show.
Awesome. Yeah, it's super exciting. You can find all of those shows at retrozap.com. All right, Skywalkers, once again, we have Skywalking Through Neverland shirts. We have Star Wars Rebels Firebird Mickey Ears designs. We have BB-8 t-shirts. So all of those are available at our T Public store, which can be found by going to skywalkingthroughneverland.com and clicking on the Support Us tab. So thank you for getting those, and we love to see those on you when we have meetups.
Nice. Now, if anyone wants to reach out to us,
they can do that all week at all of our social media, which we are at Skywalking Pod on Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, and Snapchat. Snapchat, I have mostly given up by now, but you know what? I'm not 18. Damn it.
and we have things to do.
That's true. All right, but they did a big update this week, so maybe I'll try it out again. We'll see. And once again, we have our Facebook group where you can get to know other Skywalking listeners. It's super fun. We are on Facebook, Skywalking Through Neverland official Facebook group. You can request to join that, and then make sure to send us a message that you are requesting and that you are a listener of the show.
And as always, we love to hear the iTunes reviews.
Ooh, yeah.
I'd like to know what you people think.
Yeah, and there's quite a few, but we could always use a few more. So thank you, Skywalkers.
It's a good boost to the day.
Yes.
And it really works out with social media mornings.
Yes, it does. Oh, we love our social media mornings. So
That's where Sarah reads all the social media and I make breakfast.
yes, eggs, bacon, and social media.
Is that your Homer Simpson impression?
No, that was my own.
Tweet at us at SkywalkingPod. And while you're doing that, please remember,
Neverland on Alderaan.
Some imagination, huh?
To our Skywalkers and Tweetwalkers, thanks for listening. Skywalking Through Neverland is created and produced by Richard and Sarah Woloski. Original music by Rob Dellinger. Creative consultant Mark Augushowitz. Technical advisor Peter Heitman. Facebook administrators Donald Wicks, Joey Pittman, and Norma Heitman.
Skywalking Through Neverland is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Any sounds, music, and clips played during this podcast are the property of their copyright holders. All original content is property of Skywalking Through Neverland, all rights reserved. Sorry, had to be said. I'm gonna read that last line again. Posting on our Facebook group or just spreading and sharing the positivity about our adventure through fandom.
David Eicher, please send us your and David Eicher, please email us. What? Email us your address.
Email us your personal information.
Yes.
You want to try that again?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess. I even forget what age I am, and I'm in the 30s somewhere. So sometimes I forget.
Yeah, I don't forget.
Yes. Okay, well, where are we going after this?
I don't know.
Yes?
Yes, tomorrow.
How old will Harrison Ford be?
I was really hoping you weren't going to ask me that.
Oh.
Because
70-something, right?
Yeah.
70-something. Maybe the Periscope walkers
when
know.
When you get over 70 years old, it doesn't really matter anymore. Okay, Baba Booey.
All right.
Someone thinks he's listening to Howard Stern.
So, Skywalkers, head on over to retrozap.com and look for Richard's article, From Saw Gerrera to Jackson, Classic Marvel Star Wars Comics in the New Era.
In Phil Lord, You're welcome. And happy birthday. All right, now let's talk about the big news here. Talking about Star Wars Land.
Yay.
Now, let's talk about the news. Here. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to?
Now, let's talk Star Wars Land.
Like the original trilogy Millennium Falcon peeking out of one of the cargo bays. Like the original trilogy... Bleh! I can't say that. Like the original trilogy Millennium Falcon... What is it? OT?
Yeah. Shout-outs.
I can't do it. What's that?
That's Homer Simpson.
Okay.
Eggs and bacon.
Oh. But I went, which sounded nothing like that la la la.
No, that sounded just like Homer Simpson. Tweet at us at Skywalking Pod.
Why did you say tweet at us?
I don't.
Okay. You just wanted it to be over.
So if anyone wanted to tweet in to say that Sarah sounded like Homer Simpson, they could.
Oh, okay. I get it.
All right, turn it off. Bye.